Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gimmick, your second episode for October 2025. I, as always, am the Canadian Nightmare, and I'm joined by the 32.17 David. How's it going today, sir?
Other than my bank account looking the same as the Young Bucks, everything is going good because my Chiefs got a dominant win today.
Yeah, your Chiefs did really good. So, did you see that play where they pretended, like the fake hike play, where he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this never works," and they ran it? It was very, very well done, very
I
clever.
I was
You know,
watching that with my mom and my very religious grandmother, who had not heard Patrick use that language before.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, congratulations on the win. I'm hoping Packers pull off a win. They're in a close game right now. And right now we're joined by Chat, GP Jericho, S Bobs. I'm glad you did something with AI because I almost did, but I'm like, I'll keep it a Canadian Nightmare. But I was thinking of that. But yeah, you ready, sir, for your he's right around the corner. We're getting closer. What is that? November, through 2 more months, 2.5, and Jericho's going to be back. Is he going to be? Oh, he might be on your draft roster. I didn't even think about that. There's a good shot he might be just for
I
those
need
points.
I need Y2J to save me.
Yeah, if you get him and he gets you the draft points, you should have the background behind you and everything like that. Man, that was a great time. Espos, I'm not sure. Do you ever know? Did you find out what happened? How everyone knew it was Jericho? Obviously, there's
No,
stuff in
no.
the. Okay, so
Because
obviously,
I've seen because when he comes out, the
yeah.
crowd is everyone has Jericho
Yes.
signs. Yeah.
So obviously the video did have a lot of stuff. When you slowed it down, you'd break it down, be like it's dates and other like initials for opponents. So you could figure it out that way if you're a nerd. But even if not, I think it was about 2 weeks before because they printed them in a month in advance. WWE
Oh yeah,
magazine,
I think I did see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had. I should bring it up, but they had like a cover of Jericho like lighting it up, and it's him plugging in a big plug to like a socket, and then that everyone knew. Oh man, Jericho's coming back, and we kind of thought, but still, that was just in. And I think W Magazine kind of spoiled a few things, or they would spoil like match types. As far as I think when Edge and Matt Hardy had their like loser leaves Raw, that was the headline. Who will leave Raw? And the match hadn't even been announced yet, and obviously Matt ended up losing to Edge because they weren't putting him over that guy. But yeah, so W Magazine, the spoiling
Yeah.
more than Meltzer could
Because
sometimes.
they would have to write it out in advance, but then also people would get them early, right? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. So that's the thing. So yeah, no, well, luckily I guess there's no magazine, but I used to be a subscriber. I used to get it monthly. Came with posters all the time, some cool ones
Hmm.
too. But yes, lots to talk about today. As we mentioned, the draft. I'm not sure. I suppose do you have the
I
points
do
this
have the
time?
points. Yeah.
Okay, so before you go, obviously, I think the next we haven't decided the
I think
episode
for
placements yet,
oh
but
yeah, you go. Yeah.
I was gonna say I think the next episode we will do the shake up because I think there's a good chance we'll be reviewing Survivor Series, so we'll probably do one before that as well. So I think the next episode, gentlemen, get ready. That we'll probably be doing some drops, some trades, some
I
pickups,
already
whatever you
have
want to
my
be.
thing. I'm dropping 6 people from from
Oh.
my
Well,
list.
I think this is gonna be one of our biggest shakeups ever because I think there's a
I
lot
think we're
of
gonna have to next year change when the shakeups are.
when's your pitch to shaking it up. Obviously, this year it's solidified, but what do you
Yeah,
think?
I think for next year, cause the thing is there's a long stretch over the summer where we don't have any, and then
Yeah.
cause then we have the one before Survivor Series, and then we have one before the Rumble, which is only 2 months apart.
Yeah.
I think we can
Yeah.
keep the Rumble one just for now, even if we don't change that much stuff.
Yeah, I think
But
we'll keep it for
then
now because there'll be more rumor stuff. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
only one
and
because I
because then
guess
we have because what we did before us had it before Money in the Bank, but next year
yes.
Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam.
Is it okay? Then
Yeah, so I think
that
what
kind
we'll do
of
is we have the WrestleMania one, which is the start of the season. Then the
yeah.
next draft, because they haven't announced any other PLEs next year. I think whatever not Backlash, but whatever goes after Backlash will be I
Before
think that should
SummerSlam, though, as you're
yeah
saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that would make sense. Yeah, we could do because SummerSlam's a big show, and then we got that. So yeah, no, I'm probably down to change it up because it is a longer stretch and everything. But this year, I feel like between debuts, lots of injuries, which also we'll talk about today, lots of changes. I feel like our next shakeup coming is going to be there's gonna be a lot going on. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, S Bubs, what do you have right now for the points going on for our draft?
All right, yeah, we're officially in where I have to open a second page for
We're in that
for the
time of
points.
year.
Yeah, because we're on week
Well, yeah.
27.
While you're doing that, I think I have the updated. I don't know if do you have all the names and everything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, maybe because I updated mine June. That would have been the last time we did it, right?
I
June.
think so. Yeah,
Okay, so
because
yeah,
I've
to give
had
it.
people out for a long time.
Okay, so
Okay,
I
yeah.
think I got the correct list, but yeah, to give everyone
I
lists. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna read out the points, but
Yeah, read out the points, and then we'll give a refresher for who everyone's got, because
okay.
before we drop them and everything. So
Yeah, so I've got 675 points.
okay,
Travis has 743
hell yeah.
points. And David has 472 points.
Oh, David needs some big shakeups coming up going on there.
Man,
So
I've been hurting with some people just deciding they just weren't going to show up to work for a while.
yeah, because David, you got Cody Rhodes, you got Bianca. Yeah, Bianca's been she's been gone for a bit. You got Bianca, CM Punk, Chelsea Green, LA
No,
Knight.
those are wrong.
That's the old one. Okay, can you say
Yeah,
who
I
we
can
have then?
read
Because
it.
I thought I
Yeah.
had the updated ones. Yeah, who do we got? Who does David got? Start with him. Yeah.
David has Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, Stephanie Vaquer,
Oh,
Chelsea Green, LA Knight, Bronson Reed, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Finn Balor, Montez Ford, and then the jobber is Carmella.
yeah. I guess you on paper you got some good ones, Green and Bianca, but that is like Green. Like I know she's been wrestling, but just nothing big
Well,
recently.
Green
Bianca
has
and
wrestled
Tiffany.
like, let me see how many
But I mean, like, no
matches.
main events, no big like titles. Like, she's always wrestling, but nothing like a big step, Money in
Yeah.
the Bank. Like, that's like she's a constant point getter, but she's not like, oh, every once in a while you have that one person gets you a point. Where Tiffany, she's getting you those points, but she's just cutting a lot of promos recently too. You know, that's and same thing
Yeah.
with Cody's doing Street Fighter and everything. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
then Travis has Rhea, Seth,
Oh,
Braun, Charlotte, Jay, Becky, Liv, Jacob, Jordan, and Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Jordan. Why am I?
Jordan Grace.
Oh fuck yeah! The fact that I'm
They
in first
baited you. I
place.
think was that who screwed you there? Is it like Meltzer
I
or
think it was
someone?
It was either the Meltzer or PW Insider. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. I'm never. That's tough though because I got points on the Rusev one, which was the same thing of they're coming this week, and I guess that was like a they're coming soon, so not an official date. But yeah, I'm surprised I'm still in first with Jordan Grace, literally just giving me goose eggs. But yeah, sorry Jordan, I'm out of just necessity. I'm gonna be for sure dropping her. So if anyone wants her next week or next episode, feel free to pick her up. But yeah, and
And
who do you got,
then
S Bubs?
I have John Cena, Gunther, Penta, Io Sky, Naomi, Punk, Julia, Ray Phoenix, Roxanne, and Nathan Frazier. Oh,
Yeah.
and Solo is my jobber, and then your jobber is Austin Theory.
Oh
So
God, it got
you
me
were
nothing.
lucky.
Yeah.
You were lucky. This draft is before Survivor Series. I could have dropped you like if he was in that War Games match, I would have given you like a -20.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting rid of him because who knows what's going on. I can't even get anything with him. But yeah, I guess Gunther for you is a big goose egg one right now too since
Yeah, but
SummerSlam,
I
right? Because
think
he's just been
like I'm
chilling.
probably gonna keep him because if this tournament thing is like real,
Yeah.
that's gonna be like multiple
Because
weeks of
do you have
like
Cena right now too?
yeah, I've seen it
Yeah,
as
so you
well.
get a double main event too with Cena. And
I'm keeping Cena until the end. Like I'm just gonna
yeah,
drop him
oh for
like for
sure.
the
Yeah,
Rumble thing.
yeah,
Like he's like getting me like he gets me 20 points basically for every PLE.
yeah.
And
He's
so
worth
yeah,
it.
I'll just keep him for that one.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the updated list, so we will get into it. And yeah, first we'll talk about WWE stuff because we got the AEW Wrestledream peer review, but the reason we'll do that is because this might I don't know if the reason I'm putting it first is because this will dictate how long we can talk about Wrestledream because we're going to talk about obviously the Seth injury angle and that could probably lead to some tangents and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about SmackDown because that had some big developments, good and bad, and then a bunch of little stuff in between. And then yeah, we'll review Wrestledream and same thing, talk about a few little full gears matches that seem to be shaping right now that the internet I've seen a lot of people not happy about Mercedes and Chris happening, which is like I kind of we'll get there, but I kind of get. So it's like I was like, oh, I understand, but it's like I guess it is like this is kind of a weird thing to do right now.
I've seen some certain theories from people who are like some of like the biggest Mercedes like fans I've seen have some certain theories about why this is happening the way it
Okay,
is
so
before I
save
get
those. Save those
into
when we
it.
get there. That's good because I'll be excited to hear those. So yeah, let's talk about. This is so funny because I don't know. This is not verbatim, but we had a big portion, right? Because I feel usually what happens every couple gimmick episodes, we start talking about WrestleMania. Even the second Mania, like episode after WrestleMania, we're like, well, what about next year, right? But this, I can't remember what started it, but somehow it started when we were talking about, oh, it seems to be the layout. Yet, we had a whole segment, right? And it kind of seemed clear for Raw, or at least some of Seth's things. But literally at the end, I said, oh well, of course all this can go down, but we have to wait and see what injuries happen and whatnot. And man, it's karma is not the right word. What I'm gonna say is it is ironic that supposedly now it seems like legitimately that Seth Rollins is gonna be out at least to 4 to 6. Yesterday, I guess Meltzer said on his show, I haven't listened to the full episode, that like they're hoping to be back for Mania. I'm like, I don't
That's
know.
what
Like,
he said, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Even if he's healthy, I feel like we'll talk about plans. I feel like it could be better just to hold him. But I understand.
Yeah, you could do like show up on Raw after Mania, but not wrestle until Backlash. Like give it on an extra month there.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Where okay, what's gonna be all the stuff? Who's gonna be the main event? And yeah, in between that, obviously a few months ago, we had that Seth injury angle, but it turned out to be an angle where now not so much. It seems like Seth is either a shoulder, rotator cuff, arm, somewhere in there. We're gonna get I'm sure some sort of update on Monday. It's gonna be a gimmick one too, but still we're gonna get something. But yeah, Seth Rollins is actually injured. So here's the thing: one, completely sucks from like all's perspective because, like people point out, I'm not gonna say this guy's the unluckiest guy in the world because multiple time WrestleMania main eventer, champion, married to Becky Lynch, but he does have some really bad time in his career with his body. Obviously, in 2015, people point out that at similar time when it happened, but now same thing in the middle of this angle. I will say that I'm happy because I was not watching Raw, but when I got the updates, I'm happy from we hear all these reports of WWE using AI or Triple H missing 3 weeks, so you never know what's going to be happening, what's true, or what's not. But when I saw the angle of Braun spearing them doing the breakup, I was like, man, they've really this was feeling like I don't know 2009. No, I'll go a little. Yeah, no, maybe 2009 to 2011, like Teen A stuff, where it's like they're just doing swerves for the sake of like it's a swerve, bro, like Vince Russo, or like end of WCW. But that's where I guess I'm not happy about it. But as this makes sense for a pivot, because when I got the update, I was like, man, what are they doing here? Like this doesn't make sense. And a bunch of people have put out that was the plan, where it was going to be Seth and Roman. Braun would turn him knife after. So I think we can all insinuate that Roman would have beat Seth for that time, which we kind of, I know people are saying, oh, the Sammy's thing's back on. It's like, I don't know yet. If the big dog won the world title on Netflix, he still might be getting it, right? But we'll talk about all scenarios, but that was seemingly the plan, which we kind of all predicted as far as you do that program, whether it is Roman or Seth, and then you do the big Randy Orton thumbs down, turn on him, and then Braun's the guy, right? So with Seth being injured, this makes sense why they do this. It feels like a little contrived, but they give some reasons why it made sense. But yeah, S-Bubs, what are you? I'll open the floor to you. What is your? Because we're gonna go over several. What do you? I'm gonna ask you what they want or what they think's gonna happen first. Wants are different, but what do you think is going to be the likely from next Monday to WrestleMania? So we're going far out with this world title Raw scene.
Yeah. Sort of like, well, the thing I'm thinking is like everyone's like, oh, like Braun's just gonna win it right away because Seth is injured. But I like, because the way it's like, it's a thing where like if they touch the belt before they win it, then they're not
Bad
actually
luck.
winning it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be like something like, I mean, I feel like the title could change hands. I don't know, because it's like, I think obviously Punk is like the number one contender, and they did that anyway,
Yes.
knowing the Seth injury, and so
Yes.
I think it's probably gonna be maybe they add like Jey Uso and LA Knight in there, but I think Punk and Braun in some capacity are gonna be wrestling for the title at Saturday Night's main event.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because Punk's like on the poster and everything.
Yeah, and
He's
that makes
like
that
the
a lot
only
bigger
guy on
now
the
too.
poster.
Yeah. I saw Triple H shared him and whatnot. And what do you? Because this is like short term, but what do you think they're gonna do? Do you think we're still getting a War Games at Survivor Series? Do you still think because the other thing I've seen a lot of people
are getting War Games,
or I guess I mean like the men's like the main roster man. You think that because I've seen people pitch the MFT versus Wyatt Six's War Games. So you think the main squad of like these main characters on Raw and a couple other people will still be doing like a men's War Game?
I think they probably will. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, what else was I gonna say? Yeah. So let's say they do like, yeah, because I think Punk wins it like at Saturday Night's main event, but I could see him like, because I feel like I think he wins it there. They do War Games, and he's probably like in the War Games match. So I guess you could have.
You
I
could
guess
have
in
the
that
he-
scenario,
you could
you'd
have
the heels win with like
yeah.
Braun like beating Punk in the cage, and then I guess you
That's
would do that match
number one
like maybe at
contender right
like
there.
yeah, maybe you do it at like the Cena Saturday Night's main event if that's gonna have multiple matches, which I don't know. If
Uh-huh.
not, if it's only gonna be like a full Cena show, I say maybe do that like on the first Raw of 2026.
Yeah. Okay.
Because unless you want to like save that until the Rumble, I don't really think so. I think Punk's probably gonna be like in the Rumble, so I think if he is the champion, he probably drops it by then. Um, and so let's just keep going because I'm going with my thing of what I think
Yeah, yeah.
can happen. So let's say Braun wins it. Let's say on the first Raw of 2026
Okay.
from Punk. Then he's the champ. I guess you could have Roman just like win the Rumble and say he's going.
I think the
after
big
Braun,
dogs
and then
win.
you
I
do-
think he's winning
you
the
do
Rumble.
Roman versus Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you think that, and then you
have
think
Punk win
Mania.
Chamber and fight Cody at Mania, obviously.
Yeah, honestly, now with like before, I was always like, I don't know if they're
Heel
doing
Cody, he turned heel on SmackDown.
that. I didn't know if they were doing that, but now with these injuries, I could see it being a thing. And it's kind of the same thing with the Seth thing. It's just kind of funny that obviously I knew they weren't going to do Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania, but obviously the big first Punk and Rollins match was going to be at Mania. Punk gets hurt, and now we're building up to like the what we all assume would be the finale for now, right? For Punk and Rollins, like end the chapter, close this book for now, but. Now Seth gets hurt. It's like no matter what, their biggest matches get messed up. Other than the Raw Netflix one, which was big, but still not like climactic like some of the other ones. It's kind of crazy, but
Yeah,
okay, Dave.
their only
Okay.
one-on-one matches have been on Raw. Like they had the
Yes.
Netflix one and then the Steel Cage one.
Yeah, and they're 1-on-1. So, Dave, what do you think's going to happen right now? Before if we get
All
any
right.
crazy and throw out some pitches, but what's logistic for Triple H and the AI?
I-
Bobby
I-
Lashley.
I've plotted this out. I plotted out both a want and a think.
Okay.
So
So save the want. Just do the think right now, and then we'll go back around.
I'm going to go with the think because the want is way out there. The think is that with the fact that Braun walked out with the belt and he's holding it, he is going to start claiming that he is the champion. Punk is going to say, "Hey, I earned my shot. I want my shot."
So,
That is-
so Braun's gonna do the AEW CM Punk Real World Champion gimmick. He's gonna,
Close.
yeah, okay.
Adam Pearce is going to say, Braun, you have not earned that championship, but I will give you a chance to earn it. But here's the situation, because I don't like chaos on my show. You versus Punk at Saturday night's main event. Winner is the champion. Loser does not get to challenge as long as the winner is champion. Punk
Doing the
wins.
Cody stipulation.
Punk wins. Fast forward to Royal Rumble. Braun wins the Royal Rumble. Then he challenges Punk for it as a loophole. Because I'm the Royal Rumble winner, I get to challenge whoever I want. I'm coming after that title.
That would be like that's a Vince Russo type booking.
Hey, first they could do that. I won't put it past them with all the people there. I think the thing I'm more hung up is you're pitching that Punk's gonna be champion from November to April. This man's gonna be strapped. There's no way. I don't see that.
They would do it just to have him lose the title at WrestleMania. You know good and damn well they would do it just knowing the payoff is him losing at WrestleMania.
No, I think we're past that. Once he did the Saudi show, Triple H loves him now. Like he did his like Hollywood ritual humiliation thing.
No, because Triple H still has friends in certain places, and Punk is very vocal about those certain places.
Well, and they still
So
gotta
I-
keep. They still got to keep him somewhat happy. AJ's signed now, full-time AJ Lee, who fucking's been nowhere at all. Whoever reported that too, full-time contract. Yeah, right.
And
okay.
then hopefully sometime in the interim, AJ wins against Becky, and then they go in to be the face version of what Seth and Becky were.
See, I think you could. I think you
I
can still
think,
do that,
like,
but just
joking
shorten
about
period. Yeah.
joking about AJ. I do actually think she is like coming back this week.
I
Like on
do.
Raw.
I just remember we talked at a whole episode when that like
Well, the thing was
you
like
know.
there were photos like she was backstage like the next like two Raws,
Yeah.
and then she wasn't on the show. So then I think the week after that they're like, yeah, you can just stay home because she wasn't on those. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you. So obviously, so Esposito his kind of pitch was I think he said it like CM Punk to Cody. I'll ask you then. What do you do with Cody at WrestleMania, David? And also, where's the big dog? Where's Roman Reigns? Because in your pitch, he's nowhere near the Raw title. We getting Cody and Roman 3?
You can still do Cody and Roman 3, and that one is simple. That is basically Roman coming back and saying, "Hey, I beat you, you beat me. I'm here to finish this off. The big dog is back. This is my yard now. No more distractions."
He has the whole vest and everything like that. But like,
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy.
and legitimately too, like that's the thing. Like this happened with Seth, and I'll say this again, not to jinx anybody, but like it is like early, like other injuries and stuff could happen, right? Like Punk got injured at the Rumble, so that's the thing where I don't think Roman and Cody 3 is impossible. I know Abu had said that he had heard that like some people think that match isn't going to happen because both of them don't really want to lose, but at a time where if enough injuries happen and they just go, we need a big match, I could see like Cody versus Roman is not.
You know what the solution there is
What?
if they don't want to do you do Punk versus Cody versus Roman.
Yeah, and Punk takes the
Yeah.
pinfall again, yeah, and he's kissing the sky again. But
Well,
no, like
Roman did get pinned at Mania this year.
but that's a Seth though. That's different
Yeah.
though. Seth's his boy, you know. But yeah, that's the thing where I would not pizza bet, and I would put that in the lower percentage of big matches that would happening. But I don't think it's impossible for Cody and Roman to happen because of all the stuff that goes down. So with me, with my want, I think or sorry, with the think it's just a question like I'm just locked on the Punk thing because I'm kind of with S-Bubs of like, do we just have Braun win it right away? And you could, right? Because I've seen people pitch like the Brock, and it's not even as bad as Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar was in the company for 6 months won the title. But do you just strap Braun up and get him to go to the Rocket right away, or do you kind of wait for a bigger moment? But I think I'm gonna lean to that. Punk is the contender, and I think I'm kind of a hybrid of these two where I think they're gonna do. I find it weird if Jay and LA Knight are back in there. It's like you guys lost your contendership. They could do that, but it's like you guys lost. You don't get a shot right now. For me, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be similar. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be similar to what David said. Where maybe they'll have Braun also win a match too. Maybe they'll have like he'll say, "Hey, you're gonna." Maybe they'll say L.A. Knight and Jay get like a second chance, but in that triple threat also does Braun Breaker, and you set that up there. And I think I'm gonna lead to they do just strap up Braun because my thing is that either you can do Braun and Roman easily, spear versus spear, Braun Breaker, big dog, all that stuff, right? You got the Paul Heyman lore. You could tie in stuff with Jey Uso, but also for whatever reason, if Meltzer is correct, which you never know, every scooper's not 100%, but there's some stuff he's right on. And obviously I believe this that they hope to have him back for Mania. I think there's always a chance people have pitched. I don't think it's gonna happen, but people have pitched the whole Freak Cena comeback, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm actually.
Or you do
not,
you know what, like Roman wins
or Chamber.
the Rumble. Or Roman wins the Rumble. They're doing like the contract signing. Seth comes out and signs the contract too.
Yeah, the Benoit, Michael. Threat. Yeah, again, we've talked about it before.
And they did that last year too with Rhea, where she like lost to Io and didn't win like the Chamber or anything, but she just went out and signed the contract.
That's where when you said the David's loophole thing couldn't happen, it's like no, it could because there's no you would just
but
look
I think
at Rhea.
It's different because it's like taking because David's thing was like the stipulation was like if Braun loses he can never challenge for that title as long as like Punk is holding it.
Yeah, but
he wins the Rumble and it's
all takes that Rumble contract to say like, and this voids all other stipulate. Like they can make up whatever dumb shit they want to be like you're in it. So like
it's literally, hey, this Royal Rumble contract says I can challenge for any championship. I choose that one.
I'll just say,
believe they
in
could.
general, I don't think they do he can't challenge, because Braun hasn't even
Yeah.
challenged like at all for it. So
That's true. That could be something else. So.
It would at least keep them away from okay, you have this now, they immediately have to challenge at the Royal Rumble, or they immediately have to challenge at the Cena pay-per-view or something like that. It takes off the table of the immediate, we're going to run this back. You put some space. Punk can go back to LA Knight, because they've had that little back and forth of you'll never be
the tag
champion
team run that as Bubs keeps pitching
type deal. You got options there. So
yeah. And honestly, I guess I'll wait till I'll say this now because I'll forget about it. Not to be mean, because I'll forget about LA Knight. To me, this would be the time. We've said it before. I'm like, when they going to put the title on LA Knight? I've said it before where it's like, that's when he gets the title, when it's like, shit, someone's injured. What do we do? To me, Punk's already over. Give it to LA Knight for 1 month run. Just give it to him. Even if Braun squashes, no, don't squash him. But I mean, like, at like Rumble, let's say, or War Games, let's say LA Knight wins, it leads to War Game. LA Knight loses for his team, and that sets a number one contender. Boom. Like, to me, this is the time. Give it a test. Give it the Edge 3-week run. See what he does. See reaction. Sees merch. Because then if it doesn't work, then you go, well, we never got to do that again. Like, it's not some big lineage where it's like, oh, well, we better not give it to LA Knight. It's like fucking Jack Swagger's held this title, you know? And LA Knight has way more business than Jack Swagger ever did holding that title, right? So for me, like, I guess I'm dipping into my want, because like, I'm not even a massive LA Knight fan, but it's like, this is the perfect proving ground. He's hurt, give it to him. And it sets up the story too. LA Knight was there for the Seth injury angle. This would be a good payback for him, but nah, he's just going to keep losing. So
he actually didn't take the pin in the J Punk match, like the triple threat.
Yeah, I guess. I just mean like in general, like in these, like Braun will win it, and then LA Knight's going to challenge him.
That gives him like some credibility in terms of like wanting
you could get him in there.
For it, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So go ahead, David.
I heard an interesting point about LA Knight where someone else compared him to Kane, saying that he's that guy who you don't see winning the title. He could lose a bunch of matches, but then if people get injured and he's in a big match and wins the title, it's just like, okay.
But like, now's that time. Now like strap him. So that's the thing where, so for me, my think is, I think they're just going to Braun win it. Punk will get close and get screwed. Maybe that's where we'll get a new Vision member where Braun won to bring one of his own guys, which I don't think Austin Theory fits that at all. Tony D fits to me more than Austin. Yeah.
They're like fishing buddies. And
like
stuff.
To me, yeah, like, but even you just saying that to me like fits where I'm like, yeah, the Theory one just, I don't see Theory. Now that Seth's gone, the Braun's together, that's a different type of faction. With Seth, I can see Austin in the past and making all this stuff.
To me, those big meaty men in that.
Well, that's what I want. Yeah, the big meaty man, get a Big E to be a heel manager with them. But to me, Tony, like, he's not like big meaty guy, but he just fits more than Austin does. But I think Braun wins it, and I think barring injury, he holds it to Mania, because what they can do is they can give him Roman, or what we're talking about before we went off is if Seth wins, Seth come back, that's an easy WrestleMania match, right? I really have no interest in babyface Seth Rollins, so I think that's the worst thing about this injury is that everyone was ready for heel Seth. I don't think the vision was like perfectly handled, but it was at least in a way where it was a consistent to his character. They made him a little goofy, and he got a little too heely, but still, it was something different, and it worked for the context of WrestleMania and last year, and with Paul Heyman, all that stuff. And it does feel just kind of, because the injury, that's fine. But him being heel, I hope that when he comes back, he is like, do this as a tweener, but then kind of get back to heel right away. But you can't really run a faction, because like he has now been in 4 factions. I think he's 2 for 2. Authority and Shield obviously worked very well. This, you can't really, this doesn't count. He got injured. The other one did not work as well. So it's like, you can't put him in the stable. So Seth's just kind of, when he comes back, he's kind of stuck, which that's like, he's just in this weird limbo of what do you do? It's not like the first time when he got injured as a heel, he came back, but it was, the Authority screwed him over with Kevin Owens and all this. Like there was that great video of when he was all gassed up and he was high on the drugs. Like, I'm going to come back. I'm going to be world champ. Like, there's all this sympathy for him. There's just no sympathy right now for the Seth Rollins character currently, right? It's just like,
yeah.
So they have a very tough time, and Seth's a smart guy, so hopefully he can figure it out. I just actually have no interest. Match-wise, sure, Seth and Braun will be great, but that story of him and Braun at WrestleMania, like, I guess to me that's just not going on last. Then I think something else is going on last because it's just I feel like
That's how we get the Rhea Io WrestleMania main event.
100% or Stephanie Io or Tiffany and Bianca, like one of those women's matches could step up. I just think it's a case of the problem for Seth is Braun Breaker is kind of a cool heel. That's the thing. That's the only way I would try, even though he turned on him and they're gonna have Braun as a heel. That's the only way I would try to make it work is like, imagine if while this is running, Braun gets very babyfacey, and when Seth comes back, he does turn the whole vision onto Braun because it's kind of like they don't believe in Braun or they don't, he's too big. The Batista thing, he's too big for, or more Randy Orton. Like, I would prefer them to try do that because I think at WrestleMania, I could see people still behind Braun. So it's just, I really don't know, but my think is that it's, like I said, it's going to be Braun and Roman, maybe a triple threat, maybe Braun and Seth if Seth is good to go. So I have two, and then I'll go to you. I would actually, so LA Knight's one. I actually would like Punk to get like a month or two run. I think that'd be fun. I think he's proved, even his body has proved he could do that. So I would like that. Well, my whole time want, which would not happen, I would want what Dave was pitching, but in a little different, where Punk does hold it till April, but the big dog wins the Rumble, and we got Punk and Roman 1-on-1. To me, that is a super intriguing match. Punk versus Roman 1-on-1. Punk is the like that. No Paul Heyman, so they can just spar. Like that to me is so intriguing that I bet they won't do it. So my other wild pitch, I pitched this in the Discord. I would love it. And they would never do it because it would get them to 18. But I would say that they do like just either a scramble, a gauntlet, something. And on that, one of those matches at Saturday Night's Main Event Survivor Series, you let the Wyatts have their war game. That's it. You have the women have the big main event one, but it is like a tournament or something, and it comes down to 4, and Cena's in that match, and Cena wins the title. He gets to be the world champ. Because I know we've talked about him beating Dom, which could be good, but for me,
I'll say with Dom and like the Gunther of it, it's weird because it's like, what I think they're gonna do is like he beats Dom and then Gunther beats him like for the title. But really,
I don't want that. That's weird though.
The way it should be, in my opinion, would be like he loses to Dom like through like some cheating type way, and then like he would beat Gunther in his last match.
You still think Gunther's taking the L there? I think Gunther's...
No, I don't think... No, I said
okay.
I think what they're going to do is, like, have him beat Dom and then Gunther beats him, like, for the IC title. But then it would be... I think it's more... I think it helps Dom more to beat Cena than it would hurt Gunther losing to Cena.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't like the scenario of Gunther getting back into the IC title. I guess it's like what we've talked about before, where it's like, is he getting the world title? At the same time, I don't know if he would win, but for me, another intriguing match at WrestleMania is Gunther and Cody, because they've only done that once. They're that great Rumble, and to me, Gunther hasn't won a Rumble, so he could easily win that.
And you could like final,
yeah,
because there's like the one where Cody came back and they did like 20 minutes at the end of the Rumble, and then the next year's Rumble, Gunther was top 3. It was him, Punk, and Cody were the last 3. And
so then, and that's the thing to me, like Gunther versus like, cause I don't know, maybe it could happen. I guess Cody versus Randy. I just like we all know like Randy's looking up the lights, but maybe not. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
and that's just it. Maybe not.
Just like winning, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. We'll see what happens with. For some reason, yeah, I guess with Punk too. That's the thing, though.
I think what's just, I guess since we're already doing like with the World Heavyweight title, we could do the same thing of like, what do you see like from here to Mania for like each of the titles? Like, let's go to Cody now.
Oh, some bad ChatGPT booking that like Drew McIntyre said on Twitter there. Like,
did you see the Fightful report about the ChatGPT stuff?
No,
and
what is it?
Meltzer said it too. It's like, yeah, people misinterpreted what I said, and Fightful was like, yeah, it's not like yeah. Basically, what he said is that it's not being used to write storylines or anything. Or Fightful said it's basically just used for like they have all the stuff in like a database. And the writers ask it like, how many times have we done this match before?
Oh,
or, like,
I see.
When's the last time these people wrestled?
Thank God.
Yeah, But yeah, apparently Meltzer, what he just said was like, yeah, like they're using AI in the creative department, and then people took that to like AI is writing all the storylines.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing I will say, at least not on the AIF front, but if we're talking about the SmackDown and Cody stuff and all that stuff, is they have so many top guys. That's where we did pitch, like, you can do Cody and Randy, Cody and Gunther, Cody and Punk, and that's what I'll say before we go to Cody. And I guess it ties in with Punk is, to me, if Punk and Cody is the plan, then I think Punk does not win this title at all, because you have to make it that if Punk versus Cody, it has to be like, oh, this is the first time Punk could win the title and have like a run, even if it's a month. But if he's already won the world title for even a couple weeks, I think that's like, oh, Cody's just gonna beat him, unless it's like Punk healing up. But like multiple people have said that, like, it sounds like Punk's not turning heel anytime soon, just for like ticket sales and merch. It's like they don't want to cut that off until it's done, right? I don't think people are done with Punk. I think people like that character. I think there's still more stuff they can do with him and AJ as baby faces. So yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure.
AJ's the biggest part of that. I think AJ's the biggest part of him not turning heel right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because it's like, dude,
if you're bringing her back and doing everything with that, then you don't want to turn him heel just yet. If you're gonna do the heel turn, it needs to be natural for one of them, and then brings over the other, instead of just him going heel while she's still getting super pops and things like that. And she's talking about how you guys helped, with my anxiety, and you guys helped with my mental health, and coming back has been really good for me. And then all of a sudden she turns heel. That duality just does not mix right now.
Like the Becky and Seth both being heels was working really well. Like,
yes.
And like I mean, there wasn't really a point recently where, like, I'm trying to think where, like, no, they were both heels pretty much the same time, like, since they've come back, because Becky turned heel on the Raw after Mania, and Seth was 2
days
Mania,
before, So
So I was trying to think, like, if there was a time where they overlapped like Rwana's, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah. And I just think there's more like I can't name off the top of my head, but I feel like we've talked about there's just more like multi-person matches they can do, like the mixed tags, like other couples or other factions and stuff. Whether it's anything with Roxanne or Raquel or other people. Like there's another one I thought. I guess we talked about Dom. Yeah, but there's other. Dom and Roxanne May versus AJ and Punk. You can start setting that up because it's the IC title program and everything. But I think for SmackDown. Yeah, it's just I've still just never, like I said, been on board that they're doing Cody and Punk. I don't know why. I don't feel like they're going that way yet. So I think I'm boring. Where I just think this whole story is still going to lead to Randy and Cody, whether it's a chamber win, whether it's Randy. The story I would like is Cody or Randy getting the title and then Cody chasing, but.
Well,
I don't know.
I still think we're getting, like, at some point, like a Cody, Drew, Randy, like, triple threat match. I don't know if that would be like good at Survivor Series or something. I mean, because like I said, like Drew needs to win this title at this point.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Like, I think, like, the ideal thing for me with that would be, like, Drew winning at, like, Saturday night's main event. You do, like, a triple threat at Survivor Series with, like, Randy, Drew, and Cody, where, like, I don't know, probably, like, Drew pins Randy or something, and, like, Drew retains, and then you put the title back on Cody at the Rumble.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. David, do you have anything for SmackDown, what you're feeling right now as far as anything? I guess so. I guess to end my thoughts is I don't know how we're getting there. I just think it does go with Cody and Randy, even though I don't know if that's the biggest Mania match now. Just with the way they booked Randy, in my opinion, they could change that and heat him up, obviously. But like just right now, I just feel like he's just like a very. It feels like anytime Shawn Michaels got a title shot in the 2005 to like return era, where just like he's always a valid contender, but you knew he wasn't beating anybody for that title. So I just feel like Randy, to me, sometime other than a month or two, like I just feel like Cody would beat him at WrestleMania. Cody also just lost at WrestleMania to Cena. So
other than Drew or Roman, I don't see any WrestleMania opponent right now for Cody that seems a viable option. And if you're going to put someone up against your quote unquote QB1, your guy at WrestleMania, it can't be somebody who we think 90% chance they're taking the loss. I see Randy more as a Royal Rumble opponent, or one of those other, like a big pay-per-view, but not the big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so they run that there. They have their match, but no, right now I still see Drew or Roman as the big opponent on that biggest stage, unless they just take this time over the next
Jericho,
couple of months to
run
really
it back.
build someone up.
do the AEW lore.
If this-
This time you do the opposite with Jericho. If he doesn't
You can
beat
never
Cody, he
challenge
can't
again.
challenge for it again.
Yeah.
S
how you
Bubs,
put him
if that
in the
if that
mid-card.
happens, if that happens, I am putting you on the Jericho cruise, and I'm giving that thing a Viking's funeral. How dare you bring that evil to us?
I have a pizza bet loaded. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but like if he comes back at the Rumble, I have a pizza bet loaded that I'm like extremely confident.
I was
in
worried
for
this man was going to
Jericho.
tell us he has a ticket to the Jericho cruise, but luckily
I'm
not.
pretty sure
but-
it is setting off from Miami.
Well, there you go. Oh, there's a point there that I was gonna say, but yeah. Oh, and that's the. Oh, right. When you're talking about Randy and Cody, the other thing is too. I could see if like if they do Randy and Cody WrestleMania. I think we've talked about this before. That to me is always like that could be the hot opener for WrestleMania, right? That could be finally a year where Cody doesn't main event WrestleMania because he not finally, but like he has since 39, right? That's 3 years in a row now. They could say, hey, this year let's have someone else.
Years did Roman main?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, a lot. And to me, like, and tons of those were
he
not
still
valid,
has,
you know?
technically, yeah.
He still, yeah, he did. If you count the night once, he has every time, right? With the triple threat, and then obviously last year with the 2 years before Cody. But like, the two of those Brock Lesnar ones were a waste. You know, there's a couple other times too where it's like he should not have been the main. So they could just want to do that and rack those up. And that's where I will say too, it's like I will have to judge this when we get back to WrestleMania and see what the story was, and because we talked around it, but super lame ending. I've not watched SmackDown at all. Like SmackDown, I would always kind of be iffy, like in and out before WrestleMania, and then SummerSlam, I'd not watch SmackDown at all. I still haven't watched a full Raw. I've watched segments of it. If I know something big's going to happen, I'll tune in. SmackDown, right? I watch for AJ Lee stuff, but then so SmackDown last week, I finally
has only gotten like I'd say like the last probably like since the AJ Lee return show. It's definitely been like improving.
That's
but,
what I've
like
heard,
the
yeah.
bar is still very low.
Yeah.
As of like the lows of SmackDown.
And I guess to me, if it's a case where Drew's not winning the title at all from now until Mania, then I understand that, okay, Drew's not going to win it here, but just for some excitement, like you already did Cody lost his first title. He's not holding it for 3 years, so you can rack up his wins. So, and even then, like figure something else out. The fact that it was just like a DQ with Cody DQing also just kind of looks like I don't know, like lame babyface move where he's the one that throws out the challenge. Let's get the people what they want. I know they're trying to say like, he got so angry, he got worked up, he hit Drew the belt, but it's just like it feel like I'm going to challenge you, and then like, oh shit, I might lose. Like that feels more like a heel thing that he did. Now I don't think they're actually going that way with Cody anytime soon, but just it was a very awkward finish. And so to me, if Drew does win the title at any point from now to Mania, I'll go, you know what? You should have just called an audible and did it that night. Like it was there, could have created a big moment, something really like, oh wow, that's why you got to watch SmackDown. But it just, again, this year's been really bad with the DQ finishes, especially I'd say since WrestleMania. And the fact that they did that again, I guess we're gonna get Drew and Cody, but I think that just means Drew's taking another loss. We could get that triple threat, but I just think if they didn't strap him here, I think Drew's a goner, I guess. And I don't know, maybe he'll verse Damian Priest again at WrestleMania, but
yeah, that ending to SmackDown.
Anything else on the world title picture for SmackDown? And was there any other? Was there any other? Oh yeah, because David, you said you had a hot take. What was your hot take or pitch for the wanting of the world title, the Raw world title?
Oh, my hot take is that Punk wins it and just goes on the tirade of a lifetime. Just he is defeating all comers single-handedly. There is no doubt, no shenanigans. It's just Punk being Punk. Just how his run was a couple of years ago. We just recreate that where he's that man to be beat. We go through babyface
both
Punk.
Dave's pitches have Punk doing long runs. He really wants a Punk long world title one. I can feel. You know,
I want a Punk long run, and then at the end of it, I want for someone from AEW to jump over, and that be the person who takes not Jericho,
Hangman.
Not Jericho.
Yeah, MJF
yes.
is the option. Yeah.
MJF is the one that I want to jump over and be the one to take the title.
Bucks. One of them.
Yeah, it's got to be the Bucks. It's got to be Hangman. One of those things. But
so
yeah.
that's my hot take with that. But to your point about SmackDown, like I was so let down by the ending that I lost a lot of trust in SmackDown. Like it's going to be very hard for you to convince me to watch a big match and me to think that this big match is actually going to matter.
Yeah, which like SmackDown like wasn't awful. It's just that the big payoff was a lot, and obviously there's some stuff that was all right. But the other big return we got, which we'll have to see where he ends up in the draft list. But Sami Zayn did an open challenge. Kind of everyone knew it was going to be Dragunov, but it ended up being Dragunov. He's back, much bigger. He's less toned, but more like bulky. He's got a big, I'll say not my favorite type of tattoo, the neck tattoo, but it does add to, I don't know. It's funny. I've seen it debate of like, I feel like people are like, it's add to his aura or he has no aura. And I feel like I won't say it's no aura, but I felt like there were some drop downs and even the knee brace. I'm like, can someone get some color?
Like the most aura for you in wrestling just to get a scale? I'll say if you're going to the low, if the lowest is El Clone,
it's Rhea Ripley for sure.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley is the tippy top, and then lowest is probably lowest is Jericho.
On a scale of El Clone to Rhea Ripley, where you
El Clone, no. I think Dragunov I had to see more because like the look took it down, but then when I watched that promo they released on social media, that aura went up by 10 right there. So I feel like if I would have to get a whole scale making that, but I feel like right now he's sitting at a solid 7. The next few weeks will determine what they will be. Because I think even when he had the big stash, I like that. I think because he's shorter, I liked him toned up a bit more. But he has that Wolverine thing going on, and like I said, he doesn't need to be like Charlotte with like sparkles. But someone get some color on that. Someone get the color on the knee brace. Don't just give him the gray and black.
Yeah,
like someone give him a red one.
That's what I was thinking too. Like you should have like a red or orange knee brace.
Yeah, something.
Like
but he came back.
Like a gold one.
A gold one would work. Yeah, gold one. He should have 2, and whichever his trunks are, the other color is that, like a uteral of that. Yeah. But he came back, and to me, I didn't give this the full 5-star on Dropkick, but I gave it the 4.75. Might watch it again before the year end. This was a phenomenal match. Lots of great moments. I think my favorite one was when they both did like the fire up comeback spot, but at the same time, like it fits because they're baby faces, so they're baby facing at the same time, and it was incredible that the chop sequence with Sam was down. Dragunov is one of those guys that wrestling just feels real. It's such a shame that Brian's done, because all I want to see is Brian. I want to see Brian Gunther. I want to see Brian Dragunov, and actually Brian Lyra as well. So like I want to see those three so bad. But to me, I said this in the Discord because we're talking about, because the rumor was that he's come back, and I just said that they should start the push right away. I didn't want to 5 to 8 week of he versus the Miz, he versus, because they do that with guys, right? Sometimes where it's like we're just gonna have him get a lot of wins, and then we'll eventually get to him something big. No, big moment, beat Sami Zayn. It's not like he's gonna go to Raw and become a world champ, but to me this was a perfect start to push. Yes, do it this way, and I'm very excited. I don't think they'll keep the open challenge, but I would like to.
Yeah, the first male to be NXT UK champion, NXT champion, and a champion on the main roster.
Oh, really? There you go.
Gunther never won anything in actual NXT, only in UK. But Rhea is the one for in general.
The ultimate aura machine there. So,
yeah.
But it's, to me, great start to it. Interested to see where Sammy goes. I know people are excited and hoping the Sammy thing happens. I don't get me wrong, I would, but it's at the same time now, to me, that story was him. You could do other stories, but him beating Seth was a really, that to me was the perfect story, especially the way Raw started earlier this year. So I still think Sammy will win the world title, but I just don't think it's going to be at a Mania right now. But yes, but what are your thoughts on Dragunov, Sammy losing, being back, what's next, etc.?
No, yeah, the return in the match was awesome. Like Ilya Dragunov is just he's just amazing. And yeah, I thought the match was really great. I like that it didn't actually end on the solo distraction. It happened, but
Me
then
too,
Sammy countered Ilya right away. And yeah, the match was great. And yeah, they got attacked by the MFTs again, but then the Wyatts came out after too. So I don't really know what I think is probably gonna happen is like some of the MFTs like get like US title shots. Like I could see like a Tama
Tonga
Tonga
Loa.
versus honestly Tama Tonga versus Ilya would be a good match. I think that would be a cool match. And I guess they're all just sort of like mixed because also like they put Phoenix out there, so I feel like him, Sammy, and Ilya are sort of gonna be like a group. So I mean, I saw some people pitching like you do like the NXT like triple threat war games or something like that, where
Yeah.
it was like three different
That'd be
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something different too. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering where that all goes. But as of now, the win was good, and honestly, Sammy had a really good reign there.
yeah, it was fun. It wasn't that like the longest, but it was what so I think that was the high point, obviously, of SmackDown when they've kind of had some low stuff. And yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like you had some good pictures there of Sammy being around War Games, stuff like that for a little bit. But I'll be very curious to see what they do with Sammy in the coming months, if that's not the plan right now, is to get on WrestleMania, which I don't think it is.
There's also a chance that they save the world title win for like WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Right, I forgot about that, and that'd be the perfect way for everybody fucking.
Because people are pitching like, oh, like he's winning the Rumble.
Let's
in
forget
Saudi,
about
but
the
it's
genocide.
Like,
Yeah.
win the title in Saudi.
To me, that is the way of like everybody being mad. Like you're going to Saudi for Mania, as you give to Sammy, the ultimate underdog. So maybe that's why that Sammy WrestleMania thing got halted. Because I'm with you. That to me makes way more sense than doing it. Like I just don't see it right now. None of the stories fit now without Seth. So yeah, that's a good pitch. Yeah, I think that's definitely when it's going to happen if everything goes a-okay. So yeah. What about you, David? Any thoughts on this?
I love that Sammy Dragunov match, that H-bomb into the boot, just the replay of that. That was amazing. The counter into the snap suplex, the running haluva kick, that was just like the way that they were going back and forth. I'm like, these guys are just, they're going to war here. And I would not be mad if it became a running thing with whoever has the U.S. title, that is the open challenge championship.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, it depends though. If Tonga Loa gets it, then you know it all depends. The workhorse, I'd say like the baby faces should probably do that then, right? Like that, because a heel wouldn't want to do that, right? But
yeah, and I could see definitely a situation where whatever babyface wins it says, hey, when whoever else had it, you know, they were ducking
honor
and
of John
dodging,
Cena. Yeah.
but you know, we're gonna bring this back, and then of course a heel eventually wins it again, and they start running, and whenever you get the babyfaces, they quote unquote bring it back. But no, that was a great match. I do think that the MFT versus the Wyatt thing was okay, we're having to change gears with War Games, so let's start.
Oh, you do think that's the men's War Games?
Well, let's start building that now, because with us having to move up our timetable on the Vision and what we're doing with that, because in my mind, I had the Vision losing at War Games, and that was going to be the last final crack in the Vision, was a loss at War Games. So with them having to move things up, okay, we're going to insert 2 new groupings there. And so I think that they could have, those 2 groups could have like an amazing War Game. So I'm here for that. But yeah, I think that was the best part of SmackDown.
Like an opener War Games though, like they're opening the show with the Wyatts versus the MFTs.
I guess it depends what the main is though, right? Because they might want to open hot with the women, and because that'll get like a big reaction. AJ Lee, that could also main event the show too.
I don't think it is main. Like I don't think the Wyatts versus MFTs are main eventing Survivor Series.
No, either way.
If AJ is truly going to be a part of this match, then it is main eventing. Like,
that's what I thought about.
If they put AJ in the women's,
unless they put like, because they did that last year, they put like all the belts in War Games. Because let's say like, because you could put like, if you get the heel team, like you could find a way to put all the belts in the women's War Games. Like Stephanie, AJ, Charlotte, Alexa. you probably put Julia with like Kyrie and Asuka to have that one in there too.
Yeah.
Like there's a chance they do like literally like this is like the all-star women's War Games match.
And I think you can main event that. For me, I just need to see what the title match is, right? Because even though we think it's Saturday Night's main event, what if they do some tournament and that's when they decide the men's world champion is there, right? So it's like, for me, if it's crowning a new men's champion, they're going to give that to that's going to be the closing. No, I think Wyatt is like a perfect mid-card thing. I've seen people be like, oh, that won't work. They fucking chanted holy shit to them staring down. The crowd will eat up.
They did it last week too in this.
Yeah. The WWE crowd will eat up the MFT and Wyatt's doing that. They like the Wyatts, like, and just make it a shorter one, because obviously it's a bit long with the calls and everything. But like, I don't think with people when they're like, oh, I don't know if that'll work. I understand it maybe not being a great match. No, that's a whole different question. But like, we've seen other matches get fight forever. Or this is awesome chance. You're like, oh, really? This is what this match is getting chanted. Okay, so. I guess,
no. And sort of related to what I was saying, like with the plans in the future that we've been doing already. I guess we can go into like the women's sort of thing because that one hasn't had like as huge of storylines, but I do think there's still like stuff progressing there. Like we did start with Raw, like with Stephanie Vicaire, because it seems like the next thing for her is like Roxanne and Raquel, and I think they're probably both gonna get title matches at some point. I could see like a Raquel being like maybe. Well, no, because like I said, it depends on how many people are in this War Games match and who they put in there. But I feel like Roxanne, I feel like Raquel's gonna be built as like the bigger match of like the two.
Yes, Raquel's either just. I think she's just like a Raw defense, to be honest. Maybe you could do Saturday Night's main event, maybe, but I don't even know if that's like I don't know if that's putting butts in seats to like Raquel versus Stephanie. So I feel like that's a Raw defense, and like I said, I'm full seat. Stephanie's holding this thing to Mania, I think so.
I actually don't. I don't think she's gonna hold. I think my theory is I think Asuka is the next Raw like women's world champion.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still rocking the Rhea's win the Rumble, Stephanie's winning.
I think it could be like because I don't know, because I feel like, because what they don't like to do is like, I don't know, because it depends. It's sometimes they don't like doing like a face beats a face or like a heel beats a heel if it's like a storyline type thing. Like what I feel like they would do is like if you want like. Because I like right now, I don't think Rhea and Stephanie is happening in Mania. Like I'm still
it's
still
happening. It's happening. They're getting the trends, everything like that. Rhea's getting to win the second Royal Rumble. Like I think they're going for that, and I think Rhea would lose too as well. I think that she'll put over Stephanie because Rhea's won a bunch of Manias. Like unless they get Rhea and Io.
They're doing it at Mania again. And I think the route for that is like you're gonna have Asuka beats Stephanie, Io beats Asuka, and then you have Rhea finally beat Io for the first time at WrestleMania.
Maybe. I guess there's two things. One, I still think there's always a chance that a tag team run happens, and that's what they do there. I don't know if they would want to do that for Mania. I don't think so, but I also would not mind.
I think they do the tag team run like. I think they're doing the tag team run up until like Io would win like a title, and then Rhea would get into like the thing again of like she's never actually beat her.
I would also just want, to be honest, then if they do Rhea and Io, I would rather them just do it not for the title, because that's not like the story is like you can make it that Io's beating her for Rhea, but like the whole story is she can't beat Io, right? And to me, that's one where it's like that's a huge matchup. With like the Jade and Naomi thing where it's like you don't need a title. We got another women's match on here. We've only had in the whole 41 years of WrestleMania, we've had one women's match that didn't have a title. That could easily be another one of. It's tough though because then you got to do like because then there's a breakup and it's heel and stuff. But like so that probably wouldn't work. That's how I would prefer it.
You do Rhea as Batista. I'm gonna rip your head off to the Io's guy. It wouldn't work the way I'm pitching. But that's what I would want. I don't think and even then too. Like I don't think like the fans would need that much if you just said they're gonna fight at WrestleMania because to decide who's best. They'll be on board if you make the card good enough. But what do you think, David, with the Raw World Title scene?
I see Raquel being the immediate opponent. That's going to be the back and forth. I do. They are going to get to the Rhea match. It's going to happen. Someone please lock Booker T away in a room by himself when this does happen, because I do not need to hear his commentary or have the internet when it does. But outside of that, I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a great match, and I think it will be the final ascension point of Stephanie Vecchio. Like this is we're putting you up here, because Rhea does not have a problem losing. She's proved that throughout her entire career. She does not have a problem taking the pin. So I think that in order to project someone up, give them that last little push, that would be it.
Yeah. And then SmackDown, I think I'm just going with the easy answer right now of Tiffany and Bianca, because I really have no idea over there. I just think
you're not locked in for the double champ Julia agenda.
not yet. No,
they're gonna do the match. But
yeah.
I'm not sure if like Julia's actually gonna win.
No, Julie's not winning that. No, to me, there's no way. I will say that some also on SmackDown that I was disappointed by when they're like, oh, how do you feel? You haven't lost in a year or whatnot. And you're like, well, that's the way it is, but I'm ready for the next. I was like, oh, finally something to maybe give Tiffany some doubt, something going in. But it's like the match never happened. It had no consequence, which I know it doesn't really, but like still, like when they've been building up this win streak to be like, what does it feel like? Not much, it's like whoever, and I don't put that on her. I put that whoever produced that segment, wrote it, whatever, just was like, oh, you could have done something here and made that be the reason why to have some doubt with Julia of like, well, I did just lose and X, Y, and Z, but nah, it's just Tiffany doing her whole thing, which I feel like Tiffany's just like still pop or still chance, but I just think they need some more. They need a hot feud for Tiffany because I feel like she's cooled off a bit, and it does feel like where all the other people were last year and she was up there with them, I feel like the Stephanies, the Rhea, the Eos, like they're kind of eclipsing her. I guess I could still maybe put her on that fourth rung, but it feels like she's gonna fall off at any moment now and be replaced by somebody else. And I don't think that's completely her fault, by the way. We talk about the matches, but I think it's just the segments, and it sucks with SmackDown. She's been locked with just doing Nia and Jade for the past 6 months. It's like no one's invested in that right now. And Julia hasn't had a good go either. So it's like this match is on paper interesting, but I'm not invested character-wise, right?
Yeah,
so
honestly, it's like with like sort of stuff of like talks of like call ups and stuff. Like I can honestly like any women they call up should honestly all go to the SmackDown. Like I feel like on Raw,
Yes.
like the people you have is like you're pretty good with the roster there. Even
barring
like
injuries, you're good for a while.
I was gonna say even like with like like Maxine Dupree like actually getting over and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and she's like a character now,
yeah.
right? Like she's not great. It's like a character spot, which you need those for. Where SmackDown's just like I don't know, unless they want to like upgrade Chelsea Green to be an actual wrestler, which we know she can be like an actual wrestler. You could when you turn babyface, you could like this girl's fucking putting on these classics with Penta and everything, right? So it's like you could do that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
David, anything SmackDown window? Where do you think it's going next couple months here?
I'm with you on the whole Bianca thing. I mean, I don't see. They're kind of at a loss right now for viable contenders. Mid card, they have a lot of viable contenders, but for a championship, yeah, I don't see anything with that going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, something that I guess we like forgot to talk about is like, where do you think like Liv will fit into all of it in general? Because she's like pretty much like she's coming back at the Rumble. Pretty much is like the word.
Yeah, I guess to me, like again, barring other injuries or whatnot, I feel she's
like what's her like Mania match?
Tag or something, unfortunately, or in like a mid, like the mid card title multi-person match, like that sort of thing. I think that would be the case. So
that's something I'm thinking. I feel like I don't know if you get like Roxanne AJ 1-on-1. I feel like it could be like a multi-woman with like Liv in there and Becky in there and stuff like that. Maybe you do like like the classic, Mania mid card ladder match, but for the women. That would be cool.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be something like that. I know I've seen some people pitching her winning the Rumble because of return. She's never won the Rumble.
Liv
I don't
fans
think
pitch
that's
her winning the
happening.
Rumble every year. Every year's like
Yeah,
this her
but
year.
I could see the vision though, right, of this year as far as she's never won. She would be coming back. You get a pop. I wouldn't mind that. I like Liv more a lot more than other people. I think she did not get enough credit. A couple of years ago when she was having her run. Obviously, there's some storyline stuff involved with that, but yeah, no, we'll see. But yeah, I don't think she'll be. I think she's like a world title holder in the off, not the WrestleMania season. So, okay. Was there anything else WWE we hadn't touched upon?
Trying to think if there's any other. I don't think so, really.
Anything, David?
Besides
you think
more Jericho's definitely coming in talk.
he's definitely
No,
coming.
that I will say that's the only big news that we have right now.
Big news. I like that's the big news. But yeah, no, we'll wait and see. Like I said, we'll get a date. We don't know the next episode for that. So then we move over. I still did not watch it.
Exactly an hour of. We can do an hour for each.
Exactly. Yeah. So for AEW, we got Wrestledream. I got to pull up the card here so I can get it in production wise here. I did not see the full FTR match because I did really enjoy that they did the whole. They were still wrestling on the pre-show when the match started. The pyro was going off. Yeah. So that was good. But from what I saw, it was good. Made sense they got the win, and also made sense too that they got the win on pay-per-view because you are trying to build them up for Edge and Christian rematch at some point. But yeah, we had 4 pre-show matches. I didn't see any of them other than the end of that. I know, I suppose you didn't. David, you didn't see any of those either, right?
I saw the FTR one and I saw the Willow one. I went back to watch the Willow one just because I love Willow, so
Yeah.
I wanted to.
The only other thing was the people posting clips of Megan Bain and Penelope Ford's
Yes, the
outfit.
costume. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave, what do you think of Wrestledream overall before we go over some of these one by one?
Overall, I thought it was fun. It's a couple matches went a little bit too long for my liking, which I mean that's come to be expected from a lot of AEW pay-per-views. The choice to how they started the pay-per-view was interesting. It worked for them. But I never want them to do it again. Okay, it was fun. You had your moment, but I don't want them to do anything like that again. It did make me realize, okay, that's why they released the cold open 4 days before the actual pay-per-view. Like the cold open of it was up, I think, Wednesday night or Thursday morning. They had it released. I'm like, wow, that's interesting for this big, brutal match that they've got planned. And oh, that's because they're going to go straight into this weirdness with the opening of the pay-per-view. So with that said, like some of the matches were good. I am an overall fan of most of it. I will probably give it like a B grade if I had to say that there was 2 or 3 top tier matches, but most of them were in my opinion, the solid just B minus range.
Okay, I think I'm like a B plus on it. I think because for me, other than 2 matches on here, I guess 3 because I just don't count the Hurt Syndicate, but they are part of the show, so I'll count them.
Yeah, you got to count them because that brings down the average.
Yeah. So that does bring it down. Every other match for me is like 4 stars or higher. I thought everyone worked really well. I thought it was a really, really good show. There's some unpredictable stuff, some stuff that we kind of predicted with certain turns and whatnot. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a really, really good show. I can't remember what was the God, I always forget the name. It was Forbidden Door, right? The last pay-per-view? No.
All Out.
No.
It was All Out. No, not All. Oh, right, All Out. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think this was overall better than All Out. I have to look at it because I think that one had a few more matches. I was like, I didn't know. And there's one match on here that particularly really over delivered. I gave one of the matches here a 5 stars in my match year category. I was very surprised by it, but I'm going to stop being surprised by it because I'll explain why. But S-Bubs, I felt like I saw your dropkick. I feel like this is, other than maybe All In, the most AEW pay-per-view you've watched a lot of in history, because I feel like before you cherry pick, but I saw a lot of match reigns other than Hurt Syndicate and maybe another one or something.
Yeah, I definitely I try to watch most of it, but then there's a few matches where I just like
Oh
wasn't really
no.
paying
Yeah.
attention, yeah, or I was just doing something else. Cause yeah, that is like my main issue is just like a lot of these were just like really long
Yes.
matches like back to back. But overall, from what I see, I did think it was a good show, even though I did have a few problems with stuff, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. All right. So then we got this was a great Travis opener. Jamie Hayter, my girl in AEW versus Tekla, my defense, person that I keep going for. But you know what? I defend her again. This was a really good match. It's still like just a solid to me. I gave it like a 3.5. So I didn't get to that 4 level, but actually no, I think I gave it like a 3.75. But really solid match. I was glad Hayter got the win because I legitimately thought Tekla was gonna get the win here, and the baby faces would get the win in War Games. So that's why I thought, oh no, she's gonna take the L here. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Also, we'll talk about the other women's stuff later. I don't know where Jamie Hayter fits into all of this stuff right now, other than War Games. But no, I thought this was a really solid opener. Like to me, it's like they opened the like technically, didn't open pay per view, but they opened the pay per view. We got 3 women's matches on here, so this was nice to see, and they all got time. I agree with one of Espo's critiques later that he'll bring up, but still, all of them are like. I think they're all 15 minutes plus the women's matches. So yeah, I thought this was a really good match, and I was very happy Jamie Hayter got the win. And I continue to still be a Tekla fan. That crossbody she gave on the outside, god damn man, she's looking like Ricky the Dragon out there. Jeez, that's a 5 out of 5 for crossbodies. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yes, no, that they had their match was better than I expected it to be. Like I like Jamie Hayter, I really do. Tekla has grown on me in a lot of ways. I'm still not like, oh my god, I can't wait to see a Tekla match. But I'm like, okay, I'm not opposed to watching a Tekla match. In this match, I'm like, okay, these women are going, and they had some hard hitting moments, including Hayter countering the spider pose with the lariats and things like they were really going at it, and I was like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid match, so I also gave it like a 3.5. I liked it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then we had the Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks, which, caused these guys made some great points. That's why we bring up the Discord, because they brought up everything. It was like, I get it now, but it's one of these things where it is so funny because we talk about Jack Perry coming back and like he had some go away heat and how's it going to work. And even on that pay per view we talked about, so I won't rehash, but I thought, like if he comes back as babyface, is that going to work? I don't know. And so far,
I said it was definitely going to work, and you were like, no, the Bucks are too over.
I thought it was a combo of the Bucks being over, which they are now. People are still again starting like they can turn the Bucks now at any point to be babyfaces. They're getting pops and cheers. I think now when people boo them, it's more like to playing with the show because like they're laughing, having a good time. But I thought because the Bucks were so popular, and I also thought because of just like the go away heat that he did have there for a while. And no, it's been working, man. Every time that theme comes on, I get stuck in my head. And no, just a really, really good tag team match. Couldn't believe that the Jurassic Express did not put any money into the crowd. I was waiting for that, but no, this was to me even like better than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't going to say surprised how much time it got because it is the Bucks, but again, I like that you got a tag team match on here that sure it's for money, but really it's a grudge match. It doesn't have to be for the titles, and it's getting time. So I really enjoyed this. Same thing with Jurassic Express. They're another act where I'm like, I don't know where they're going to go right now because I feel like the trajectory is FTR and Edge and Christian for that title. So I just don't know where they fit in. Maybe the men's blood and guts if they do that, because Tony Khan hasn't said if it's for sure just women. But I don't know. So any thoughts on this match?
So this was my second favorite match of the evening. Yes. Because I thought that the Young Bucks did Young Bucks things the way that the Young Bucks should. Jurassic Express did some stuff. Man, that the reversal of the Bucks when they did the flip over and Luchasaurus caught him and then just power bombed Matt and Nick. I'm like, this is great. Like, I'm loving everything about this. Jack Perry using his knife to cut the tag rope and then walk over and place it somewhere else so he could walk wherever he wanted.
I really like that spot. That felt like
him
very
go back
Eddie
to the
Graham-ish.
corner. Yeah, like all these little moments, I'm just like, okay, they're having a fun match and everything like that. The post match kind of put a little bit that I didn't like on it, because I'm just more Don Callis. I'm just anything with Don
It's too
Callis.
much, man.
Just
There's too much of him.
but the
going on
match
right now.
itself was, man, it was so fun. And the Bucks entrance with showing how much they have and the ATM flashing, how insufficient funds and like everything about this, it was a great funny start to the match. Everyone in the crowd like trying to like offer them money, them even on their entrance someone said, hey, Young Bucks, $20 if you sign this. And they go over, they sign it, and then he goes, all right, where's my $20? Like,
Yeah, that's good.
just stuff like that. And then the match itself, the athleticism in the match, some of the spots in the match, I'm like, all right, this was my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
cool match. Like I was saying in Discord, like Jack Perry, what people were saying, it's like the easiest way to turn him face is if he stops trying to be like this dark, serious, and he just starts doing flips again, and that's what he did in this match, and it clearly worked. So
Yeah.
I think it's working well with the reunion of the Jurassic Express.
Yeah, and good, and same thing. Like I always thought too. Like Austin, like I can't remember. Oh, Luchasaurus. Like he can move very well for a big guy too. He's pretty quick. So there, and I
He
love.
did was it like a standing moonsault or something like that?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's wild.
Yeah, no, and I've said this before. We'll talk about it later. Love the little man, big man team. So we'll see what happens there in the future with them. Next, we had the Hurt Syndicate demand. I have nothing to say here. I literally ate dinner. I listened to the match, didn't watch it. They're number one contenders for the Trios Championship, and David, you didn't want it, but sorry, they're winning those titles on Wednesday. Maybe we'll tie this together with the Joe and Hangman thing because it'll be a bit more exciting to talk about them both. But Joe and Hangman did have their match. For me, very solid, good match. Definitely to me that perfect like. It's a good match, but they're saving it. It feels very much like that first Kevin Owens Cody match where okay, now when we get full Joe, he's just gonna go wild. I'm sure there'll be a stip. But yeah, after the match, classic, oh, hands up, and then they turn on him, which I found interesting, and I'm not saying dislike or like, but that Shibata and Will turn as well. Will, I wasn't surprised, but I thought Shibata might kind of be like, oh, I don't know about this, but nah, he just turned, and like I said, I don't know when Shibata's been a heel last because he was injured for so long and he's just been with AEW, so I really don't know. But yeah, I really like the Joe and Hangman match. Thought I like the finish of what a way to, I'm not sure if it goes into S-Bubs. S-Bubs, when you talk about the Cody Road with the Storm Zero and then the Crossroads, is it just that it's kicked out, right?
Just
as
that
far as the
everyone
week
kicks
finisher?
out of it, yeah.
Okay, good.
And they do it like multiple, like Tony will do the Storm Zero like 3 or 4 times in a match, like every match now, unless she's just fighting like the jobber of all jobbers.
Well, that's good then because at least Hangman didn't pin him after all those, but he hit him with 3 buckshot lariats, which I think was good because it like puts over Joe as a big tough guy and stuff. So I thought that was really good. But they did the heel turn. We kind of exactly expected this finish was going to go. I think we thought it was going to be more of a fluke win for Hangman, but he did, which I was kind of surprised because he's just like Joe, like he just beat you. He didn't cheat. He didn't roll you up. He just like clean pin you. So the heel turn is like a little weak.
I guess that makes him madder if if he was saying like, oh, like you'd never beat me, and then he just beat him clean. Like, I guess that makes him more angry unless he like. I mean,
so why would Will and Shibata turn though when it's just like you just got beat though?
They're just friends with Joe.
Yeah, they're just his friends. Yeah, sure, I'll do this. But then so they turn them heel, and the second that happens, like okay, so yeah, Hurt Syndicate's winning those. Now it all makes sense of the quick. Oh, it's the number one contenders match. Like it all goes together wise. And
also, I looked up for Shibata like. There's a site SmackDown Hotel that has like a bunch of information on wrestlers and like every time turn heel and face.
Oh, perfect.
It says the last time he was heel was from January 4th, 2003 to September 3, 2004.
Jeez. I thought it was maybe like 2007 and 8 because I was not fully watching New Japan. Man, so it's been 21 to 22 years since this man has been a heel. That's crazy. Not saying he's going to go on an MJF run, but I was just, that's what caught me off guard that Shibata was heel all of a sudden, you know? So, yeah, I guess the Hurt Syndicate's going to win the trios, and we're going to get a fucking Hurt Syndicate trios title match every time. At least, hey, if you really want those trio titles on pay-per-view, you're going to get them now because Bobby and crew has to be on there. But, yeah, so that was my thought. Like the other match, Hurt Syndicate.
I was seeing people say, like, the Hurt Syndicate, like, they're slowly pushing them down the card. Like, it started, first Hurt Syndicate match was, like, Lashley going over Swerve clean on the pay-per-view
big time,
singles match. And then they went into tag titles, and they just lost them in like that, where the New Japan Ninjas attacked them of Ricochet.
Right.
Now they're going into trios titles. They're like 3 months from now they're gonna be the ROH 6-man tag title holders. Well, if they're even in the company by then, I guess.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on all this, David? As far as Hurt Syndicate, Joe turn, Joe match, everything like that.
The match was a match. The more that I watch Bobby Lashley, the more I hate his spear. Now that I have,
it's like a roll. He just rolls. It's like a cannonball.
But he barely touches them as well. Like it's kind of like you kind of.
I get now.
Almost like a lariat to the stomach rather than an actual spear.
I was gonna say, I understand it more now, but at the same time, it makes it worse because the idea is like the impact of him like pushing his shoulder in so hard is like that's like the tackle. But then the reason it's worse now is because on the spear that Braun Breaker did to Carlito, where he ran all the way down the ramp, he flipped, but like the real version of what Lashley fakes doing. Like, he speared him so hard that it like turned him to the side. But Lashley just does that like by himself to make it look
so
like
light.
it gets harder.
Yeah, him and Jay need to have a spear off to see which one's worse.
He does the roll no matter where he's doing the spear from. So it made sense for Braun because Braun was running full speed. He's launching himself.
Like, he'll do it from like a foot away and do like the full roll on it.
It's so. Every time I watch the spear, I hate it more and more, and I'm kind of starting to agree with. I didn't think I'd say this in the year of our Lord 2025. I'm kind of starting to agree with the Undertaker that a lot of people should just put the spear away for a little bit because Braun is doing it so well.
Those two should be. Oh well, yeah, because Braun. But just like as far as people using it, it's like these moves are so overused. Like they're not special anymore until like at least Braun makes it special. But
this super kick now is just like. I'd say it's like on the level of like a chop
or a clothesline. It's a transition move now.
When the Bucks do it though, it's fine because it's meant to be. They're making fun of the fact that it's overused. The whole super kick party thing was we're overusing it.
Yeah, they were doing it before every wrestler on Green Earth was starting to do that.
But for the people who are seriously like tuning up the band, here's my tribute to Shawn Michaels. I'm going to give you a super kick. This is going to end it. I'm sorry, Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth. You're not winning off of a super kick. Stop it. Like, just give it up. Yeah. And some of these others who are still like hitting that big super kick and looking for it, it's not happening. So the match was the match. I am not looking forward to the Hurt Syndicate's trios run. Now, who knows? No. They could get the titles and then they could very well go on to better themselves. Maybe having them away from the demand, having them away from beating up Ricochet every week will do something better to elevate them. But right now, I'm tired of this. And my fear is they're going to win the Trios champions, and then they're going to circle back and be right back in it with the demand all over again.
I think there's a good chance you get this match one more time in the future. I don't know when, but like I've
already had it 7 times in the last month.
Yeah,
for the Trios titles.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this situation, S-Bubs? These matches?
No, I did like the Joe and Hangman match, even though there was a few like weird mistakes. Like people crucified Mara Sade on NXT for missing that moonsault, but she at least like sold it and it's like, oh, I missed. Hangman just like straight completely missed Joe, and then Joe like bumped for it
went for the pin.
Into the cover. Yeah.
And I forgot, you remind me in the Discord, Joe, I think to me it had to be Joe completely fucked up the first moonsault all to the outside, because that spot of he was supposed to moonsault, Joe moves out of the way, and then Hangman hits him. That was supposed to happen first, and the spot later when he's
because Hangman went up, Joe like moved out of the way.
Hey
and
man,
Hangman
literally
was
went.
still up there. Yeah.
And because what happened was I could see because Joe went for the turnbuckle attack, which was to set up that, but you could tell like, oh man, I did
He did, like,
the
one
wrong
spot too
moonsault
early.
spot. Yeah, so I agree with you. There was a couple times, but it was funny that Heyman literally just went like, "What are you doing, man?" And like
I
they
thought I
recovered
did think
that
it was
pretty
funny
good.
because
But
it worked on the like sort of like the Joe like walks away from stuff like just like he just like didn't even let him go for it. But yeah, now thinking about it more, I was like, okay, definitely like mistimed it.
yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's get to the ladies here. We had Chris Statlander versus Tony Storm. Really liked this match. I was kind of surprised. I thought they were going to go more sexual with it, and they really didn't. They did a little bit at the beginning, but what I liked is Statlander had multiple things that either I don't know or just haven't seen that much, or I just like that they're using them. I really like that pin that she beat Tony with, the whole like wrapping her arm around the leg, and it's like this
Seatbelt.
weird, yeah, the seatbelt. I like that. When she did the first Vader bomb off the rope, and then that didn't work, so then she did a 451. I was like, geez, and I can't remember. The Storm Zero counter, that was great because I thought she actually got hit, and the way she just pounced out of it. So to me, Statlander was kind of the star of this match, to be honest. And Tony put her over clean. Now we know why, but put her over clean. Like there was no drama, no nothing like that. But no, I thought this was a really good match. Now, do I think it was? It did end up being my match of the night, but I don't know where it might be my second. I actually did really enjoy this one quite a bit. I thought their styles went on. I agree. You know, I suppose you'll probably bring up. I'll throw it in you next. That I could have given this more time. So I gave this one still just a 4, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, maybe it didn't end up being the match night like I thought. So I could agree. There's some more. But yeah, I suppose. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I had this one at like a 3.75 because I
Yeah.
was waiting sort of like go into like that last gear, I'd say. But I did think it was still a good match. I obviously like these two a lot, but yeah, I felt like it could have been like bigger. Like this was sort of like I don't know. I sort of expected to honestly go longer, like I was saying, but I don't know. It was missing something for me. I don't know exactly what it was though.
Yeah. David, what about you?
I will agree that it felt that it was just short of something special. It was kind of slow and not always in a good way. There were some times where it was like methodically slow, and there was other times that it just felt like, okay, let's pick up the pace just a little bit for these two ladies. Now, I will say, Tony Storm screaming, "You'll have to effing kill me," just amazing. I love everything about her, from her entrance to
The
her
entrances
doing
were
the
great, too,
the
yeah.
entrance for Statlander. Everything else, it was just like, okay, they had fun. I'm happy that Statlander won and will continue, defending this title. I think that was the right cause. Plus, it plays into what happened later. The greatest tag team to come in professional wrestling history got to form because of this. So I am it was a good match. I just can't give it higher than like a B minus. It was cool. It wasn't there, and it just felt slower at times than it should have been.
And then right after that, we had like literally right after that, Monet came out because they announced it was going to be some sort of segment. It's going to be an open challenge. She throws Chris out of there, just saying, "Get the hell out of my ring." Which, to tie it to the end, I was very happy at the end. Statlander came back and embarrassed her, beat her up for a second there, because when she told her to get out of the ring and Statlander just left, I was like, that's babyface 101. You don't do that like that. You just look like an idiot then, right? And I
I was getting scared because the thing was, it was an open challenge for any champion and their title. I was getting scared, she was about to take Statlander.
Oh, I thought it was happening.
Right there,
No,
yeah.
when she said "get the hell in my ring," I thought Statlander was gonna turn around and say, "No, this is my ring. I'll challenge you," and Monet was gonna win it right there. I thought it was over, which still could happen, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I was not like overly excited with Mina Shakir.
People on Twitter were mad about it being Mina.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was not enthused. Now, here's the thing. I forget because I think their best match is still that. It's not Wrestle Kingdom. What's the night after they call it now?
Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty, and AEW has a Dynasty pay-per-view.
Yeah,
they
it's
should have
weird.
worked that together. But like that to me is still the best one. They've had some like because they did this, and then in the build up to Tony and Monet, they did like a big match on Dynamite. It was like a second main or something like that, and then they did this. So they've run this 3 times now in a year. And the good thing is, once this match ended, I was like, right, these girls like or women like they do have really good chemistry together. So by the end, I was locked in and into it. But the problem was we knew which way it was going. It felt very random. It does make sense now, as far as we even said, for multiple reasons. Monet's probably winning a title tonight in England, so it's like, well, they just wanted to like get, or it's not England, it's somewhere, but like
I think
Tony won the big
North.
Ultimo Dragon moment on his show, and then also after this, we got Tony and Mina getting right together for their tag team, which I don't. I don't think anyone's thinking they're gonna lose. They're at least getting to the finals, but like I think they're gonna win it 100%. Tony can be the first tag team.
I've
you know.
written down a potential because they showed the bracket is 4 brackets, so that'd be 8 teams. I have 7 teams written down of potential people who are probably in this tournament.
Okay, and it's supposed to be 18 bracket.
Like they showed the thing where it's like they said on Dynamite the
Yeah.
bracket's going to be announced, but in the background in the image you saw like the tournament bracket was 4 brackets.
Okay,
so 8
what
teams.
what are the teams you got then? We'll go there right now.
Teams I'm predicting are probably going to be in this, and I only got 7, but I think the
Yeah.
8th will probably be like a team from like Stardom or CMLL or something like that.
Yeah.
But the teams I've got are Athena and Billy Starks,
Yeah,
Willow and Harley Cameron.
yeah.
I think Jamie Hayter and either Alex Windsor or Aminata.
Like I think the presser they talked about that, and I think Jamie
Yeah.
Hayter was kind of alluding that would make sense why Amina just like I know she's been feuding with Tekla, but it felt so random when Jamie won and Amina just popped up like, good job, like out of nowhere, just like her friend. But yeah, I believe that. Yeah,
And then Megan Bain and Penelope Ford.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
yep.
Tay J.
Hmm.
Tony Storm and Mina.
Yeah.
And then that 7 and 8 I think will be a team from Stardom or CMLL or something.
Yeah, them, or if they have some other AEW women that aren't around doing anything right now, right?
Yeah,
But no,
can't
I
really
agree. All
think
those other
of
people are in
any
there.
else, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like unless to me it's like Dakota Kai and somebody, right? Because we talked about before in the Discord
or
where
like
Kai's
the,
gotten some gear made.
like
So
the former Caden Carter
yes,
and them,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you could do that. So, but yeah, what were your thoughts on Monet and Mina here?
I
as
honestly,
well?
I really like this match.
Yeah.
I say I maybe even liked it more than Tony and Statlander.
Oh, there you go.
I really like this one a lot, and like you were saying, like yeah, like you weren't that into it because like you thought there was no chance. Honestly, by the end, I was believing. They were making me believe that Mina was gonna do it, but she didn't. You know, in hindsight, I thought obviously this is where Mercedes is winning the 11th title, but honestly, near the end, that's why I said I wish there was 5 more minutes because the near falls near the end were really getting me. Especially, I forget there was some move that Mina got out. It was like, did she get like a rope break on like the Monet Maker or something like
She
that?
did,
Like,
yeah.
There's a big near fall that I was like, oh, like she might actually win it here. But I really enjoyed this match. I'd probably give it. I mean, on Dropkick, I gave it like a 3.75, but if I could get like, I don't know, a 3.85 just to say I liked it slightly more than the other one. But I thought this was a really fun match. And yeah, like you said, I think the match they had on Dynamite was okay. I think because that one was like one that she was like, definitely not winning because it was the one like right before All In.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Wrestle Dynasty match, I remember that one also being good. And that one also, Mercedes won like 2 titles off of her in the Wrestle Dynasty.
Right, yeah. She keeps taking titles from this woman, my God, you know? So.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it, even though yeah, people were mad. It was Mina, that was just Mina, but I like Mina. I've been close to getting. There's a Mina shirt on AEW shop. I'm circling on it. I'm close to considering getting it.
Yeah, and before I throw to David, what is because we seem like whether it's a Dynamite or maybe Full Gear that Monet and Statlander's happening. What was that theory you were teasing in the opening of the show that people are saying why this is happening now? Because I've not seen this. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like from one of the accounts that's like one of the biggest like Mercedes fans. But his theory pretty much was like, other than like like the reason this TBS title reign is going so long and like she lost the world title shot is like they don't want to put the world title on her unless they're 100% sure she's re-signing, because her contract is supposedly up, like it would be pretty much like January 1st, let's say, like 2027, so full next
Okay.
year, and then it'd be up because they wouldn't want like another like Mariah situation. That's the theory from the Mercedes fans, that
So
they're
dumb.
not giving her the
So
world title
dumb.
yet unless they're 100% sure she's resigning.
If it
Because
was like
let's say she
2026, I could buy that. But 2027 is like, what's gonna matter if she wins the world title for like 3 to 4 months and drops to somebody? You know, it's not gonna affect anything really. But you know,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the supposed theory, which I
Okay.
mean I could see. I guess like Tony sort of thinking that like Tony Khan,
Yeah.
I mean not Storm, but
I
like
would tell no, yeah, I would tell Tony just like, don't worry about it. If you want to strap her, just strap her for a couple months
Yeah.
and move
because
along.
I don't think
you
she's
know?
Yeah.
beating Statlander at Full Gear.
I don't think so, but I can't say 100% because Statlander finally can beat her. But I do agree with some people that like, okay, the next time Monet goes for the world title, she's got to win it, because then it just kind of feels, you know, which there, I guess there's a story there. Like she's kind of cursed. Anytime she goes for that title, she can't win it. But I do think if I had to predict, yeah, I'd say Statlander
Yeah.
would. Yeah,
Especially since Statlander hasn't beat her
Yeah.
before too.
Yeah. So I liked the match. I thought it was better than I expected it to be. I thought at first we were going to get a swerve when Statlander started to walk away. I thought when Mercedes was like, all right, who's going to be my challenger? They were going to hit Statlander's music and she was going to turn around and walk back to the ring. I thought that would have just been hilarious as like a, because I didn't feel right with the babyface just, yeah, getting out the ring. She told you to get out and you just got out. I did wonder if maybe they would pull out because IWGP just had a new women's champion crowned less than a week ago. If
yeah.
maybe they would do something with that. I wasn't thinking Mina, but it makes sense. You don't want your IWGP women's champion to lose almost immediately. But you could have done something where Rio or somebody else who Mercedes has had issues with runs in and the match ends without a championship being changing hands. But it was a cool, fun match. Yeah, that near fall, that finger out to the rope thing, like those were fun moments. I think it did from a wrestling standpoint and a storytelling standpoint. I do think it did slightly better than the Tony Storm match because facial expressions were just crazy. Like you could tell she was determined that she was getting another championship, and Mina, the way that she emotes is fun as well. I think it's the right call because again, what we set up later, it was a fun match.
Yeah. Now, speaking of a fun match, this match I teased. 5 stars, Brodito versus Don Cal's family, which is Okada and Takeshita. I will take back what I said last week. I was like, this should be on Dynamite. We know the story. They did do the whole, oh, they're gonna, break up and fight and everything like that. They only did it a few times match, but the way they paced it, and for me, it's the last like 7 minutes of this match. Crazy spot after crazy spot. I know we've seen the multiple German suplex thing, but the way they did it here, the way Bandito almost didn't flip, like it almost added to it. It looked more dangerous. I just love. There were so many good spots in this. When Takeshita, New Japan Pro Wrestling, IWGP, Takeshita champion. When he barrel roll slammed Brody King, I could not believe that he picked up this dude. Even Okada at one point, he did like that.
I'm pretty sure he did it on the thing about that is like I'm pretty sure he already did it on Dynamite like last week.
Oh, then I missed it. That's
Yeah.
an incredible
Yeah,
feat of strength. And even Okada too, he did like I can't remember what he calls the move, but when he holds them and he does like hits their knee over the head. It's like these guys, super strong for guys that aren't like super jacked or anything. That just shows like, it's strong style, literally. But no, this match, man, I said this before, Brodito versus Bucks on Dynamite I think it was like last month, was incredible. And this was incredible again. I know they're probably going to lose to FTR soon, but I really don't want that. I'd rather now just Edge and Christian FTR be another grudge match with something. I'm loving the Brodito run. That crowd was on fire. I was on fire. I never thought actually, I think like you were saying in the Mia thing, there's like a moment I actually thought they were gonna win. I can't remember what the sequence was, but there was a near fall, and like it is over. And I loved the Okada Rainmaker, and he hits Takeshita. The second he hit him, just smile, not this like the cheap like, oh, I'm sorry, like not any of this. It was just like he was laughing, and that wasn't the direct end of the match too. Went on for a couple more minutes, but I loved everything about this match in a match that I thought was I wasn't gonna love, and it actually was the longest match of the night too.
I was gonna say, this one
Okada's son
to,
got
like,
it, you know?
like rewatch, because the start of it I was like pretty tuned out, and then
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the end when they started like really going into, I'm like, oh, this match is actually like Okada's actually working out there.
He did. Yeah, he was working. Yeah, he was moving. He was taking like dive bumps and everything like that. I couldn't believe it. So, and we got him versus Bandito on Wednesday. But yeah, this match was incredible. I gave this a 5 star just on a technical enjoyment. Loved it. I don't think it'll be my match year, but it's going to be in that category. And I love Brodito, man. They for a team that I didn't care, and also Bandito's just having a good year overall. But yeah, David, what do you think about this one?
I thought this was a fun match. Especially the ending, like you said, like they turned it on at the end, and I was like, oh wow, this is everything that I've been seeing out of Brody King and Bandito. Like the Brodito tag team, it's just been fun. It's been way more fun than I ever assumed it's going to be. It's lasted longer than I expected it to, and they've been putting on some good matches. And now to get the fallout of this coming out Wednesday with Bandito and like, yes, please. And then seeing Takeshita as IWGP champion, something that we've been talking about probably for about a year now. This is happening. This is happening. Let's give it some time. This is happening. Yeah. Everything about this, it was a good match, hard hitting match. And as much as I don't like almost any and everything to do with the Don Callis family, these two I absolutely love. Like,
Yeah,
if you could
yeah.
just take them out of all of that and just put their little frenemies situation outside of all that, then yeah, no, I'm here for it.
I guess
Yeah.
something we can talk about, since we sort of mentioned, like we were talking about maybe it's Takeshita and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. We can also tie this sort of into the whole rumors of Nakamura and Tanahashi, which made me think like, because people have been saying like, oh, maybe like Tanahashi's retirement could main event, but then what if it's like, would you have like, let's say like for the sake, like Nakamura isn't like a WWE guy, but like it'd be like, would you have Tanahashi and a WWE guy main event over like two AEW guys if one of them has the New Japan title?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah. Just because it's yeah, Tanahashi. Like that's the
If
only reason why. It's like the Cena thing, I think.
And if they do two nights like they have been doing for a while, then Tanahashi needs to main event whichever night is on the 4th. So if they do the 4th and the 5th,
Yeah.
he
I
needs
think
to do
Wrestle Kingdom
whatever night
yeah,
is on the 4th, because the 4th has always been traditionally the day. Before they switched it to the 2-day event, it was the 4th. So if he's going to main event one, it needs to be on the night of the 4th. Give him that respect. I think he's earned it, and I think, yeah, you could easily close out that, and I think that that would be more meaningful to the crowd than seeing Takeshi and Okada, as much as they love those, as much as Okada took over for Tanahashi as the new ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's still Tanahashi. He's still so beloved there, and then to have Nakamura come back, you saw the reception that he got when he went to Noah and when he went to other places within Japan. He's got that in his contract where he can work those Japanese dates. So yeah, let that happen.
Yeah, I think if it's two nights too, because last year Zack Sabre Jr. defended on both nights. I could see like Takeshita versus someone like on the 4th, and then you do him versus Okada as
Yes.
the main on the 5th. And
That's
you
what I think
do-
too, because Wrestle Dynasty is almost their forbidden door,
and, I
right?
mean,
Where it's
they
like we got
haven't- they
AW
haven't
talent
actually
on there.
Announced Wrestle Dynasty yet.
That's true.
But I don't
Yeah.
remember when they announced it last year either. I mean, I feel like it must have been enough. They want to sell tickets for it, unless they're not doing it this year. I don't know.
Yeah. If they're not, then I think that it's like the second main event. Like I think Tanahashi goes on last. If they are doing it, then yeah, I think, and especially because that next night is the more forbidden door, like it's like a semi crossover show, you know. So I think I think that's the method there, and I feel like that because I just don't know who. That's what I hear from New Japan fans, that for Takeshi right now doesn't look like there's like a huge, like, that would main event the WrestleDome, right? That or the
Shota Umino.
Shoto, yeah, thank you. But with Okada, that could be. It's just like a little weird, but at the same time, his history there makes it make sense. So, or you could always give him, the king, John Moxley. I suppose I'm gonna at least start. What were your thoughts on him versus Darby, the match?
Honestly, this match, like, I was pretty disappointed by it, to be honest. Like, I felt like there was a lot of stuff, like, sort of missing from. I don't know. It felt like this had all been building up. Obviously, like, this was the match. Like, we'd been saying it, like, for the like, even the casket match. It's like, oh, like, they're just saving it for the last match. But I feel like, I don't know. It just didn't really hit for me. Like, they didn't do the fire, even though the whole build was the fire.
Yeah, they built to the fire. That's so weird.
There was no blood. I felt like it was mostly just like, it was just like Moxley would like do something to Darby, then they would like finisher spam. Then like the Death Riders just like came in and like beat him up. They did the stuff with the water, but like also like no moves are being done through this. It's just like this like Death Rider cinema here.
I did think he was going to paradigm shift him on the glass. I'm glad they didn't, but I thought because Darby's so crazy, I thought it was coming, and it didn't.
Yeah,
but I was
then
worried.
Honestly, Sting shows up, hits them with the bat and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Moxley just quits to the sharpshooter. I felt like it was like. Honestly, it was like the big like story conclusion, but as a match, I felt like not much really happened in the actual match.
Yeah, I agree with you on the finish with the like. I get the symbolism with it being the Scorpion Deathlock and everything like that, and I at first I thought they were gonna go really crazy when they were doing the skewers to the nails and other stuff, and even the water. I was like, okay, and I applaud the water. It's like
get that they couldn't like bleed because of like the commission and stuff.
Yeah.
But in that case, like, you should have done this match on All Out instead. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, Dave. Yeah,
and
I'll bring that up after. Yeah.
And no fire too. Like, really, that was my biggest disappointment. Like, no fire. Like, they did the lighting fluid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know how they didn't do fire.
It ended up just being like, I have like a 3 out of 5. Like, it was just like an all right, because like I said, it's not much. It's like rating like the John Cena Fiend like Firefly Funhouse match.
Yes.
Like there was like they didn't really wrestle at all in this match. Was my opinion of it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Darby Allin reminds me of a Marvel superhero in the fact that where the hell is everyone when this big fight is going on? Like,
oh yeah,
that
it
is my
bugs me
question.
so much. Yeah.
Like, for Darby to be so beloved, where the hell is everyone when these big fights are going on? And that just reminds me, like, when it comes to Marvel, like, New York is burning. Where are the Fantastic Four? Where are all these other people who live here? Like, that's the thing. I'm like, Grandpa Sting is now. Granted, I am a Sting fan. For 5 straight years, I painted my face and went as Sting for Halloween. Like, I am a Sting guy through and through. I have no apologies. Whether it was white paint, red paint, or multicolored paint, I was Sting. So, like,
I was Sting.
Sting was my guy. So I get that. But Grandpa Sting is the only person to help you. And I thought maybe, okay, Daniel Bryan's not on commentary. And the reason he's not on commentary is because he's going to do a run-in later. And they didn't want to make it weird with him leaving the commentary table. Like, cool. I got that. Nope. No one wants to help this man. You couldn't even get like the anticlimactic, the crowd doesn't care hook thing in the sky. Like, to go back to your point earlier, S-Bubs, who has the worst charisma, it's probably Hook, because no one reacts to that stupid light in the sky.
Yeah, he's in a tag team with Eddie.
Eddie Kingston on the pre-show. Yeah, 3-minute matches.
But yeah, so that was my thing. The match itself, it was fine. The spots were fine. I do hate the bamboo skewer spot, even though they didn't go as far out as I thought that they would.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna make it stuck in there.
I don't think they poked it as hard so like he wouldn't actually bleed.
Yeah.
St. Louis said no, but in this instance, I'm glad that they did, because I'm not really a fan of that spot. But other than that, yeah, it was a match. The The going out in the water at the end, okay, that was fun. Sting breaking the
Yeah, the water was a
fish
great
tank,
The water
that
was
was
a
visual.
cool
fun.
visual.
Yeah, the
I did
wrestling in the
agree with
water,
Gus on
it made
that.
me bring those, like, I want that WCW when they go do a show in like the pool and the rings there. Like, I
Oh
want
yeah.
someone to do that. Like, it
I
was
mean,
cool
they
them just
like
fighting in water hitting up.
yeah,
So
like
Next
how they
Jericho
did do the
Cruise.
yeah. That's what I said that they did do a Dynamite on Jericho Cruise, but
true.
maybe next year we're getting Raw from the Jericho Cruise.
No, that'll be NXT Bubs. You know they're
Yeah,
gonna. It'll be
that's a spring break in tease special.
100%. Jericho's getting that. Yeah, but no, I share your guys' sentiment about the match. Like I enjoyed it. I think, like Espo said, I think I enjoyed it as a finale, but at the same time, it didn't have that big. Even like I said, the death lock. It's like that's it. Like it's just. I did like that they teased because he threw him over the ropes with the flags. They kind of touched upon the Hangman ending, but like I said, it's like, well, we've seen Moxley quit twice now. Like, don't run this again. Like like, and he quit.
Yeah,
Like the Hangman one, that was more to me devastating than this was. Like, it was a cool visual. I maybe they should have like really played up the glass, or even Moxley could, like, because if they could have played up like he had him in a death lock and his like stomach is against the
yeah.
glass. But I
Yeah,
don't
but
think if
Sting,
that's
he just broke it and then like swept it away with the bat, pretty much.
yeah, like they should have still fakely, like when the second Moxley got turned over, he should have been like like they just didn't. If that was the effect, they didn't play it up well enough. But yeah, I hope this
I
is
would have
it.
been fine with the effect even if it was something like if he had him in the death lock, but somehow like he was like pushing his head like into the water. I think that
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
been
something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
but it just was, you had the flag and
yeah,
stuff. But
it was kind
I
of
hope
weird.
I hope this is it, and I hope this now just builds towards more inner turmoil with the Death Riders, and then let's get Garcia built up, because Garcia shouldn't just be a guy running on the apron and getting maced to the face. I hope that's the idea now that Case beat Darby, and now the idea is let's build up Daniel Garcia. I hope it was not just a moment, a swerve for a swerve. That should be the next story, is
Do
Moxley
you
and
think
Garcia.
Darby still eventually gets the title?
Yeah, I think so. I think like
Because
before the
honestly, I
man
guess
dies, he will win the title.
we still have like the MJF like contract is still in
Yeah.
play. Obviously, he can't like Money in the Bank it anymore. He has to announce it. But still, I feel like maybe Darby. I feel like if MJF like ends up winning it or something, or some ends up winning, I could see Darby winning off that person.
It should be MGF, especially because twice MGF has beaten him with a head over takedown roll up. It's always been like a belt shot or like a nut
Yeah.
shot, but he always does it. Then he rolls up to make it seem like he beat him really easily. So to me, that is a guy, even to me, which is a dumb rule. If Tony's like, I don't want to put the title. If for some reason he knows that MGF is leaving in 2026, 2027, still have MJF have the title for like a little bit, and Darby, like, that is the story there of Darby beating him for the title. So I think Darby, yeah, will eventually win it, even if it's like Mick Foley where he had it for like 2 weeks and was out. Like, Darby will
Yeah.
definitely win
I
it. Just
guess-
was the better story to
I
go
guess
with
I was just
Hangman.
thinking about it, how like I said in Discord, like this was literally like the match they would have had for the
Yes.
title. Like
Yes.
like especially with Sting showing up. Like it makes sense to the
100%.
story, but like if this was gonna be their like like WrestleMania 40 ending and stuff like
The
that.
end game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess the original plan, like, it would have been, I guess, like, Mox, like, retaining over Osprey at All In, and then, like, Darby winning it here would have been the original plan.
Yeah. No, not the case. Don't do that. That would have been disastrous. And then, yeah, David Mesme, he did mention that, yeah, I forgot, because we were talking about other stuff, Briscoe and Fletcher, which I think the reason I almost forgot, because we also went on different tangents, but good match. I gave it like a 4 out of 5. I liked it. I think they have good chemistry. I just now think these guys need to stay away from each other for a
Yeah,
little bit.
they've
And same thing, I
been
need
smashed
Kyle
a
to
lot.
have like a program. I need him to have not just like challenger, because like that thing, I agree with him where he's like on the press conference, says, oh, he wants to try to be better than everyone that's held this title. He wants to be the best champion. Well, the thing is, like, with even like Cody had
I mean,
both,
'cause
where
they-
he had the open challenges, but he also had the stories. Fletcher needs that, and not the Briscoe.
they
Like,
were
they've had
gonna-
4 matches, you know.
It felt like they were going to do him versus Kenny, because he
Right.
wrote off Kenny,
Yeah.
but then Kenny did it, and then Kenny just came back or what? He was on the show. What did he run
In
out
the end,
for?
the Jurassic Express Bucks, he
Yeah.
made the save. Yeah, to me, that's the story right there. Is it like the rumor was it was going to be Kenny and Coda versus Josh Alexander and Hennicero, right? Yeah, Hennicero. Yeah, which again, just Kenny's stuck in these tag teams, and that's fine. But like, to me, that is a story. If you can get Kenny and Kyle for a couple months, like same thing. Don't have Kenny wrestle at all. Have him cut promos, have him do stuff, and let his body get healed up, and then at Full Gear do the match. They don't even have to touch. Kenny can be a good talker. In Japan, he was one of the best ones. In AEW North America, it's very 50-50. It depends. Don't let him have the mic when it's like, hey, you got 30 seconds. Say goodbye, good night. Like, Kenny can be good given the right material. So I hope they do that. But that's what Kyle needs is a real story here, But, I thought it was a solid match.
Yeah,
Athletically gifted.
It was a good match. I felt like it went a little bit too long at times, and that's probably because I feel like we've seen these guys go back and forth so much now. It's like I didn't need this much of a match for them. To your point, I hope that they move on and move into different directions. Let Kyle continue to do some stuff, make himself look strong, continue to do so. Because dude is freaking phenomenal, and
Yeah.
I love watching him. This was just my second least favorite match, and that's only because I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. Just like the Hurt Syndicate stuff. We've seen this so many times. Like, how many more times can I see these guys go back and forth? How many more times can I see the standard Mark Briscoe match? I like Mark Briscoe, but this was a standard Mark Briscoe match, and Kyle got to get his shine in, but it was a standard Mark Briscoe match, and I'm like, all right, it didn't do anything for me. It was a good match. Probably could have cut off about 5 minutes of it, and I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel like overall, just like this show, like I'm saying, I'm all for everyone getting their time, but it did feel like, I don't know, just like the format of it, like I said, it was just like long match after long match after long match. Like I feel like they could have just like reordered them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Or again, this didn't have to be on the pay-per-view, right? Like, just like I get it at the same time, but just because it's been done a bunch, you could have spread it out.
Yeah,
but,
there were a few here that I was like, didn't
Yes.
exactly need to be on the show, but
yeah. Well, there you go. We've done that. We did some fantasy booking. We did the Wrestledream one, and then we'll see what happens next. We'll take a look. We'll try to figure out. We'll do a Survivor Series review, very likely, and then I know in December, obviously, we'll be doing the one day after John Cena's last match. But the other November, December ones, we'll figure out. But we'll definitely do one before Survivor Series. So,
yeah.
Cool. And we'll do some drops, everything else. Yeah, okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your episode of The Gimmick. We'll be back next month with the bi-weekly ones or whenever. We'll figure that out. There'll be a GMO also in there at some point, too. And I promise you, it'll not be boring.